Okay, all right. We're excited to be playing our first home game. This week we're playing a very good team in Jacksonville State. They are very talented, more talented than some Division I teams. They've got some transfers that definitely can flat out play. They've got a coaching staff that I'm very impressed with. Their co-DC, Brandon Hall, was actually a coach that coached with me at safeties at Arkansas State. He was also an off-the-field guy here in 2013. Their head coach, Coach Gross, is a very good coach. He actually coached Rock Thomas at Oxford High when he was there. You know, this is a quality opponent, and our focus is on getting better. And our guys can turn on the film and see that you know, we're going to have our hands full.
Questions?
Tyler Queen have surgery?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. In fact, you know, it was something that's kind of been bothering him during fall camp with his elbow, and we just felt strong that we need to go ahead and get that procedure done, get him back for spring. Jonathan Wallace will be the guy that will step up and play a little more quarterback, kind of like we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Tommy John surgery?
It's similar.
Guys, you never had, well, I shouldn't say that. The last time you had a quarterback throw 3 interceptions was David Johnson in 08. Just what was your takeaway of, obviously, Jeremy looked like he was pressing, but that was a rough performance historically for quarterback.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I mean, Jeremy early on made some decisions that he'd like to have back, but you know, he'll correct them. You know, Dave Johnson ended up having a super career, and really feel strong that Jeremy will do the same thing. I know he's ready to get back on that practice field and get better and you know, get ready for this Saturday.
Was he trying to? I mean, all the attention and everything that Heisman talk. Was he trying too hard? Maybe pressing to live up to that.
I think he was definitely trying to make some plays down the field early. You know, which is to be expected now. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that do that, and you know, just let it come within the offense, and he'll do that. I mean, we still have just as much or more confidence in Jeremy Johnson we did before the game. And you know, the great thing about Jeremy is he'll learn from his mistakes, and he'll get better.
Coach, Jeremy was obviously, understandably, a little frustrated after that game. Have you really said much to him since then, or do you feel that he's had the proper perspective on it?
Well, the thing about Jeremy, he's a great competitor, and he's extremely tough on himself, and I think the special quarterbacks that I've been fortunate enough to be around, they were the same way. And you know, he's ready to get back on the practice field and ready to get back out there Saturday and improve. And that's the mindset you have to have, and not just quarterback, but all positions.
Gus, the guys that are hurt, do you anticipate them?
Yeah, we're expecting everybody to play. We're expecting everybody to play. I mean, this is it's a quality opponent. We need to get better, and there's no talk about, you know, our next opponent at LSU. I mean, we're worried about Jacksonville State, and we're expecting everybody to play, and we need to get ready.
Coach, why did Josh Holsey not get in on defense?
He was a little banged up, but he'll be back out there today, ready to go. And you know, yeah, I believe you'll see him on the field on Saturday.
What about the defensive front? You know better than most of us. It takes more than 4, and looks like you're pretty solid 2 deep there. Just talk about the way that they look when you saw them. Yeah,
you know, I thought they did a good job. They disrupted things. You know, even in the second half, they disrupted things. We just lost contain on that young quarterback, and he was electric. You know, Coach Muschamp really wants to develop that depth early, and you know, he really believes in playing those younger guys, and you know, do nothing but help us, you know, in the future as the season goes on, because you need depth up front.
Are mobile quarterbacks a concern for you guys going forward after that game?
Well, that mobile quarterback was. I mean, you know, he was electric. I mean, you know, and the thing about it, you go into that game and there's a possibility of 3 different quarterbacks playing. It's a true freshman. They had a few new wrinkles for him, and you know, he played, and we lost contain a couple times. And you know, when you play mobile quarterbacks, you just got to contain them, keep them in that pocket, and try to make them beat you with an arm. You know, but you know, give them credit. He did a good job, and he got out of contain, and he made some plays with his feet, you know, late in the game.
Was there a noticeable difference to you when Carl Lawson was not on the field?
Well, like we said before, I mean, he's an impact player. When he doesn't make the play, he helps other people make the play. And, when there's elite players, when they're not on the field, things are different, but other people need to step up, and there's no doubt in our minds that that'll happen. And it did at times, even Saturday.
Gus, how much did you learn about your team from the first game?
Yeah, we learned a lot. That's what our staff talked about in all three phases. We learned a lot about not only our team, we learned about some individuals. We learned a whole lot about the young guys, because, young guys, you never know how they're going to react until you get out there in the game. And so we feel very good about our team moving forward. I think everybody saw the freshmen and the new faces that actually played for the first time wearing an Auburn uniform. And it's encouraging from the standpoint that we did some good things, and the things that we need to improve on, we feel like are all correctable, and we feel like that they can all be corrected and we can get better.
Gus, besides quarterback play, what are the 2 or 3 big things you want to improve on?
Well, up front, when you got those new faces, just the communication, getting used to working together. There's nothing better than experience, with new centers, new guards, your rotating guards, and then the tackle guard communication. That'll get better throughout the year, and just the little things probably in all positions, just improving.
Another touch. Go ahead, Jan.
When you have 5 holding calls, 4 that stick up, and 1 takes away that big touchdown, just what was your takeaway of having 4 different linemen called for?
Yeah, when you look at it, it was some communication issues that really caused our problem. We overslid a couple of times right there. They were counting on the guy inside of them. So all those things are correctable, and that's kind of what I was saying about the communication. And there's nothing better than getting a guy beside you, and you know how he's going to react on certain things in that experience. And so that'll definitely help us, because I think 3 of them, those holding penalties, were very similar to that type of miscommunication.
Yes, you hope that. Okay, so I thought he was continuing. Sorry. Jason Smith, he had the explosive play, like James said, it was called back. Do you see more of that happening for him getting that opportunity?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's electric, and when he's got the ball in his hands, he can really do something. And I think, he made an unbelievable route. At the top of the route, leaned it. Just kept running through the football, and he is a guy that's getting more and more comfortable in the offense, and so definitely we'll see more Jason Smith, each game.
Will you consider moving him quarterback at all?
We may have a package for him. I mean, he's comfortable there, but it's kind of that balance that we would like his role to be bigger, in the receiver position. So it's kind of that balance that you just got to figure out. What is best to do. But as the season goes on, he gives you a lot of flexibility.
Will Jonathan be more quarterback than receiver now?
Now that we're making this call, it's going to be a little more quarterback than receiver, but he's still going to help us at receiver.
Gus, this left guard rotation that we've heard you guys are playing going into each game, but how much at all is it based on field during the game? If you go talk to JB and say, what are you seeing?
Yeah, leading up to the game, they were both a little banged up in fall camp, having a little issues, and so we let them both share the reps. Both of them deserve to play like we talked about. And then you get to see them in a game, and that usually helps, but both of them did a solid job, and so, we'll continue to do that a little longer.
Do you anticipate Peyton Barber's confidence kind of skyrocketing after Saturday, and maybe?
I think it's got to. There's nothing like going out there and doing it, and you're doing it, and you do it good. That gives you confidence. And he's not a very experienced player, so my experience is that those guys were really kind of raised their level, and really I think we'll even see that in practice today.
Did the text message on Thursday night just part of his personality, or was that?
Yeah, just Thursday I think he made one alignment problem on Thursday during practice, and it was just on his mind. And he's tough on himself, and like we said with Jeremy, the guys that are tough on themselves, they got a chance to be really good. And it was just one of those things. Hey, won't make the same mistake. I'll be ready Saturday, and there's to say there's no doubt you're definitely ready, and he was.
Will he start this Saturday?
We'll see. I mean, we're not ready to say say that right now, but he's in a very good spot.
What did you see out of Montravius Adams? What would you like to see?
Well, I think Montravius had his best overall game since he's been here. Played quite a few snaps. He played extremely hard. He was very, very disruptive. I mean, he's the one that caused the fumble that got picked up for 6 points, and he put a lot of pressure in the quarterback's face on the passing downs, and of course in the run game he was very good. But he took that next step, and Coach Muschamp really was challenging him, and Coach Garner challenged him just to take that next step about being an elite player and playing with unbelievable effort and intensity, and he took that to heart.
Duke was spending more of the time back at the wide position as opposed to the X.
Say that.
Duke was spending more of his time at the inside wide position as opposed to the X. Was that just a matchup situation? Are you going to play more?
He'll have a chance to play both. He knows both. And the great thing about the seniors that we have, we can move those three around, and they're able to execute our offense.
Do you expect to play all three running backs?
What's that?
Do you expect to play all three running backs Saturday?
Yes, possibly 4.
Do you want to get Carry-On more involved in a game like this before you go against
We want to get Carry-On involved regardless. Last week he was a little bit, banged up. It wasn't completely 100%, but we expect him to be this week.
When you look around the league, there's a lot of new or inexperienced quarterbacks, and a lot of them can turn to star tailbacks for 20, 30 carries. How much strength is their tailback in this league, and depth?
You talking about for us? Or you talking about other teams?
For the league wide, but also for Auburn. Seems like there's a lot.
I'm thinking about Jacksonville State. I couldn't really. There's probably a lot of depth in SEC, but as far as us, you can't have enough depth with what we do at running back. And playing 3, and like we said, like to play 4 tailbacks. I think that's very good, because like I said, we got 2 of them banged up Saturday, and so you just can't have enough depth at tailback.
Guess what did you make of the play special teams the whole on Saturday?
I was encouraged with the special teams. We had a lot of true freshmen running around out there, and you saw their talent level. And I really feel like just from a talent standpoint, I think we're in better shape than we were, last year from a talent standpoint. Now, execution, we made some mistakes, but we'll have a chance to be good on special teams. I really feel that way.
What did you think about Marcus Davis specifically? He only got 1 return, but he at least secured it and didn't.
Yeah, and then he came up and caught the one in traffic. I thought he made a good decision on the one to get away, and his communication was very good. So I thought Marcus Davis did a very good job.
So you talked about fall camp preparing for the big video board. Exactly how does that look? How do you prepare for something like that?
Well, we went over there 3 times so far, and I think the first time we just had it on, still shot. The second time we had it where it was the actual game deal, and I think the third time we had some sound on. So you just get used to it, and the first time it's a factor. There's no doubt it's a factor.
You go over there this week?
What's that?
You go over there at least once this week?
I don't know. We hadn't got that far. If we do, it'll be Thursday. We've been over there 3 times.
Coach, you guys have talked, you played other in-state programs before that are much smaller and looked up to the Auburn-type program. Just talk about that when you got the JSU, you played Sanford, you got A&M later, and ASU in the future.
Yeah, I think it's always good to play in-state opponents. The thing about this group, they were 10-2 last year. They lost to Michigan State, and they lost in the quarterfinals. This isn't your average 1AA team. This is one of the best 1AA teams in college football. And like I said, they got some transfers from Division I. Matter of fact, they got 2 guys that has been here before, Devontae Sigler and Chris Landon, both fine young men, both very good players. So, we're not going to take them lightly, and they deserve that respect. And I wouldn't be surprised if this group ends up winning the 1AA championship anyway.
Yes, John Gross having so much success at the high school level in this state, having your success. What carries over? What can you speak to? What carries
John Gross is an excellent coach, and his track record speaks for itself. And he's got that program, at the top of their division is playing. He's got talent. He's recruited extremely well. He's got a very good defensive staff, a very good offensive staff. I mean, he's got it going on.
You said last night that on your radio show that Peyton Barber got stronger as the game went on.
Yeah.
How much does that go into influencing your decision? You go into SEC play to have a guy you lean on?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing like knowing how they're going to react. You know, the thing that I was encouraged about is he never looked at the sideline wanting to come out, tap his shoulder, tap his hat, whatever to come out. He was wanting to play, and I think that's important, especially with what we do. And he carried it 20+ times, and those were hard yards, some of them, you know, and so that was encouraging.